Let's vibe, let's roll, let's get it. Whoa, shawty showing out, throwing on the dance floor. Fashion killer, huh? You don't give a fuck what a nigga gotta say or a bitch. What?
Hi guys, it's Naimahrae and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the fam because we stay litty over here. And if you're a returning viewer, hi, how are you guys doing on this very lovely day? It is so hot right now, okay? I just want you guys to know I am sweating, okay? That's not the point. That's not the point. Y'all are here for the story time, so let's talk about the story time. This is going to be part 2 to, what's the name of that video? Oh, give me a second. This is part 2 to the He Played in My Face story time video. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you are going to be lost when the story time starts. So I need you to click off of this video and go watch the first part, which I will have linked up there and in the description box down below. And then come back to this one so you can figure out how the story ends. Because, y'all thought the first part was bad. The second part, it's gonna get worse, okay? Got a lot of mess to comb through. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. So picking up right where I left off, I was pushing boundaries, y'all. I was pushing boundaries. All because Naimah cannot settle for not getting what she wants, okay? Let's just be honest. I like to get what I want. I'm a woman who goes after what she wants. Nothing's wrong with that. But sometimes I need to know when to chill out. And this was one of those cases, but I didn't, because as you guys remember in the other video, your girl was going through it at the time, okay? So, you know, I was making destructive life decisions. So at this time, I'm really confused still about things like he's friend zoned me, but like the lines are very blurred. Like, it's like I was trying to go with the flow, and at first I didn't really want to accept the whole friend zone thing, so I was pushing my own boundaries. But then after a while, I was like, okay, well, maybe I should just try to go with the friend zone thing. And I was literally just trying to go with the flow, but there was such a lack of clarity on things that it was just like not making sense, because he would sit there and he would be like, oh yeah, we're just friends, da 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 da, this, that, and the third. And then he would do something like kiss me or something. I'm just like, bro, like that's not what friends do. That's not what friends do. I don't know what kind of friends you got, but I'll be doing that with my friends. So like, what's really happening here? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't making sense. He's still back and forth, pretty much, trying to cross boundaries and kiss and do all this other stuff. And it's literally like confusing me. Like I was just like on a whirlwind, like, okay, like I'm just not sure what's happening here. I thought we was friends, now we not friends. It was too much, y'all. It was really too much, and it was honestly a very messy situation. And I just remember I tried to talk to him about everything again, like so we could figure out like where we stood, and he was very dismissive about it. Like he was like, we already talked about this, like we're just friends, whatever, blah blah blah. Sir, what kind of friendship is this? Y'all, I was actually so confused, and all I wanted was a little bit of communication and clarification, but that was not happening. It wasn't happening. I was going to my friends for advice, and guys, this should tell you how deep into a mess I got my own self in. My friends didn't want to have anything to do with me, and I think I said this in my last one, but like just so y'all could understand, like my friends were legitimately like, Naimah, we don't want to hear about it, because like he told you this, we told you this, and you still didn't listen, so you're digging yourself into a hole. Like pretty much they was like, figure it out. And at the time I was looking at it like, damn, like my friends hate me, they don't want to help me, like I'm so depressed, I'm alone, nobody understands. But they had a right to feel how they felt. They did, because I was doing too much. Could they have went about it in a better way? Yes. But at the time it was just like, Naimah, you're doing too much, because I was doing too much. So at this point I couldn't get advice from my friends, and I was in this mess with this guy. What did I name him? What's his name? Ben? I think his name was Ben. I hope his name was Ben. I like to keep names the same so it makes sense. Yeah, I was in this situation with Ben, and it was just, honestly guys, literally looking back at it, I cannot believe that this was my life. Like, so I'm in this situation with Ben, and slowly but surely he starts distancing himself from me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? Why will he talk to me? Like fully like freaking out. And like, this is no way in any way to defend him. I'm so sorry, y'all. The lighting is just changing rapidly because the sun is setting, so please disregard. And this is in no way to defend him, but like I get it, because I was fully in full-on self-destruct mode, and I was doing a lot. Could he have went about it in a better way or just left me alone in the first place? Absolutely. But like, I kind of get it, but he started distancing himself from me. And at first I was like, oh, I want to talk to him, but I don't want to talk to him, and I don't want to bother him, and this, that. Like, it was just a very unhealthy cycle for me to be in with him. I would say with myself, but he was still like in the process, because we were still talking. It just wasn't as often as it was before. It was like he kind of led me on to believe it was going to go somewhere, and then he was like, once he realized like I was in too deep, he was like, oh, she done caught the feels and I'm not with it. And he was just like, let me just fall back. After a while, you know, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it's fine. Maybe I should just accept the fact that we're going to be friends, and like it is what it is. Like, I'm slowly starting to accept it, like easing myself into the idea of it. I'm like, okay, Naimah didn't get what she wanted this time, but it is what it is. It's for the best. It's for the best, girl. Trust me, it's for the best. But I'm just slowly starting to ease myself into the whole, oh, we're just friends. Like, it is what it is, right? So probably like after a few weeks of that, maybe a couple weeks, I don't really know the time period, but I know some time did go by. And he hits me up because he's like, oh, I'm gonna be like in your area, like, do you want to come with me, because I have to go get my phone fixed? Sure. So we end up spending like the entire day together, right? Like fully the entire day. And like the whole time I'm kind of keeping my guard up a little bit, because I'm just like, you said we was just friends, so like I'm looking at this as like, this is just a friend outing, nothing crazy, nothing wild is gonna happen. But the whole day, he was not giving just friend energy. That's not what it was giving. It was not giving that at all, y'all, at all. Do you kiss your friends in traffic? Do you? Do you? Yeah, I didn't think so. So I was just like, I was trying to process things in my head and it wasn't working. Even the guy at the store where we went to go get his phone fixed had said something about us being a couple, and me and him just kind of shrugged it off. But like, sir, that's how you acted. So what is really going on? Like, what are we really doing here? What are we really doing? Like, y'all, I can't stand that man. Anyway, so at this point, like, y'all, I don't know. I literally don't even know what to describe what we were doing. I'm just gonna call it a relationship / situationship for the sake of this video so it makes sense. But like, we are still doing this teeter-totter between, oh yeah, let's be just friends, and we're not just friends, which in turn is just confusing me and making the whole cycle just more and more toxic. So like, I was literally giving him, I guess what the girlies would say now, boyfriend privileges. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. Boyfriend privileges, and he was not my boyfriend. And by that I mean, like, he would ask me like, oh, I'm hungry, like I don't have any money for no food. Y'all, please don't come for me. Who would send him some money for food even though she was a broke college student? I was down bad. I was sending him money for food. Like, my first language is gift giving. So like, I'm thinking like I'm just being nice. Like, no, Naimah, you are doing too much. You are doing too much. Like, only thing I will say is that man, I didn't have a car at the time. He was coming to get me whenever I was ready to, hey, I want to see you. He would drive and come get me. And I was a little dry, so I'll give him to him. But like, and then the holidays were coming up. So I had asked him, I was like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? And like, he told me, and I was like, okay, cool. Mind you guys, what I ordered him for Christmas, he sent me the link. What I ordered him for Christmas, it ended up being like a scam from a website, and it messed up my bank account. So I had to get it. I had to get that fixed. And you wanna know what I did, y'all? When I got my money back and everything together, I still went and bought him a Christmas gift. Oh, moving forward, y'all. At this point, Christmas is here, right? And I don't remember what was going on that year, but I didn't get to spend Christmas with my family. Like, it just wasn't, like, we weren't doing something. I don't know. I ended up telling him about that because we were back to talking sporadically. And he was like, oh, well, you could just come spend Christmas with me. We did spend Christmas together. I spent it with him and his family, y'all. And his family. I mean, I was at his, I think it was like his sister's apartment. I don't know whose apartment it was. With him, his brother, his sister, and his mother, and the other girlfriends and boyfriends that was there. I spent Christmas with them. And I know y'all are probably thinking, oh, it's so cute, it was kumbaya. It actually, there was nothing cute about it. I was ready to go home the entire time. It was very boring. All they did was sit there and play the game the entire day. He talked to me, but he didn't really talk to me that much. Like, and his mom was trying to get to know me a little bit. it was just weird because I was like, I don't really want to get to know you, ma'am, because your son is problematic, okay? And I don't even know what's going on. I don't. I'm just here by default. That's it. And I don't know if he invited me just out of like, oh, I feel bad because she don't have nobody to spend Christmas with, whatever the case may be. But it was one of the weirdest Christmas I've ever had. And I remember I did give him a Christmas gift. He told me he did not give me a Christmas gift because he just didn't have it like that. But as soon as he got it, he was going to make it up to me. At this point, like, from Christmas Day and onward is when things started to get even like messier and worse than what they already were. Like, y'all, when I tell you it was so ridiculously messy and bad, like, it was just bad. I spent Christmas with him and his family. He really loves his Christmas gift. He wears it like every day because I got him like a hoodie. He wears it like every day. I see it all over his Instagram. But then he starts ghosting me. Like, I mean, fully not answering texts, not answering Instagram DMs, not answering phone calls, like not even trying to talk to me, not even a little bit. And his excuse was, oh, I'm just going through something right now. Like, I don't really feel like talking. Okay, cool. I was feeling like, if you're going through something, you might as well just go ahead and share it with me because we're close enough to where you could do that. But he was not, y'all, he was not doing that. And he actually really did like start to ghost me. So at this point, after a couple weeks of like silence from him, at first I was really sad about it. And then the sadness slowly turned into anger. Cause I was just like, I know this didn't just ghost me. Like, what's going on? What is going on? Like, I was hot about it. Like, I was mad because I was just like, I just felt used. Like, I felt like you sat here and said this, that, and third. We was gonna do this. You said you was gonna get me this. You said you were just trying to get yourself together. You said you was gonna give me a Christmas gift. You said you was gonna pay me back. You said you was gonna do, like, you said you was gonna do a lot of things with no follow through. So now here I am, looking like Boo Boo the Fool, because you didn't follow through on anything that you said you was gonna do. So at this point, I'm like hot and I'm mad about it. And I really don't have a desire to talk to him anymore. Like, I don't want to see him. I don't want to talk to him because you laid your bed. Laid your bed? You made your bed. Now lay in it. That's how I was feeling. I was like, all right. Like, Naimah was starting to come back to her senses a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The common sense was coming back. Okay, your girl was no longer as down bad as she was before. So this is when things started taking a turn for the more messy side. I just remember one day, and this was while he was ghosting me, he had posted something on his Instagram story. I cannot remember what it was. I was actually going to put it in this video because it was like a discussion post and he wanted people to reply to it or whatever. And I wish I could have found it, but I could not find it. And it was something about like it having to do with like leading people on, or like if you do something, like does it lead somebody on, or whatever the case may be. And he wanted people to reply to it. So of course I replied. And I just told him, I was like, well, yeah, like, you know, that's leading somebody on, whatever, right? At first, keeping it real lighthearted, because this is what I do. Like, when Naimah is in petty mode, or like she's in pissed off mode, like, she hits you out of nowhere with the truth. Okay, the truth is gonna come up, but you're not gonna see it coming. You know what I'm saying? So we just talking about the post, and then out of nowhere, I'm just like, well, that's what you did to me. That's why I know. No, I didn't do that to you. Mind you, we are going back and forth on Instagram DMs, y'all. Instagram DMs. No, I didn't do that to you. I don't know what you're talking about, Naimah. That don't even make sense. So you're telling me you didn't do this, that, the third, blah, 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 blah. No, I didn't. Now you're lying. Liar. Like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Look, I was down bad, and I was acting stupid, and I was acting like Boo Boo the Fool. But I'm not Boo Boo the Fool no more. Okay, your girl found her sense. I found my sense. And right now, you lying to me. He didn't reply. I wouldn't have replied either, because did I hit him with the truth? Yes, I did. I hit him with the truth, and he did not want to face the truth. And one thing I cannot stand is when people do not take accountability for their actions. Like, could he have fixed everything at that point that went entirely way too wrong? No, absolutely not. The damage had already been done. But if he would have at least took accountability and been like, you know what, Naimah, you're right. Like, I shouldn't have done you like this, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, All I'm saying is, conversations and accountability can go a long way. with me. Does it mean that you're going to be forgiven for the rest of your life? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. I'm nice, so I might forgive, but I'm not going to forget. Like, even if he did take accountability for everything, would I have, like, jumped back in with him? Trying to think of how I was back then. I feel like back then I probably wouldn't have, but I would have been okay with us just being, like, distant friends, because I really didn't want to have much to do with him, because it was just like, sir, like, why put me through all this just so you could sit there and be like, no, I didn't do any of that. So after I called him out on IG, I have pretty much, I gave it to him. Like, I laid into him, y'all. I told him how I felt, like, and everything. Did it matter? I don't know if he cared or not, but I did. I told him, I was like, you know, I felt used. I feel like you lied to me, etc., etc. Like, none of this stuff makes sense. And like I said, he didn't reply, so that was that. It was what it was. Wiped my hand in the situation. I was moving on from it, kind of, sort of. I'm not gonna lie. Usually, I don't hold grudges, right? Usually I don't hold grudges, and I'm a very like, oh, I'll forgive you, but I don't forget type of person. But with him, it was very different, because I felt like he knew what I went through, like, beforehand, and he still did the same thing, if not worse. So it was really like, I was just like, like, I was really heated with him, and I didn't have a desire to talk to him. I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to hear from him. Like, it was what it was at this point. One day, I am literally walking to work, and I literally run into him while I'm on my way to work. And he's with his brother and, like, a friend or something. He's like, oh my gosh, naimahrae, like, literally speaking to me as if, like, he has done nothing wrong to me. Like, he hugs me, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, hey. Like, I was very dry. I was like, hey. He's like, what you doing? I was like, I'm on my way to go to work. He's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna hold you. Do you know how to get to so-and-so from here? And so I tell him where he needs to go. And I don't know if I made a face or something, but I just remember he put his hand on my face. And y'all, I already don't like being touched. I do not like being touched. Do not touch me. He put his hand on my face, and I was like, bro, why are you putting your dirty ass hands on my face? I don't think I said dirty ass hands, but I was like, don't put your hands on my face. And like, his friend and his brother looked, and it was like, because I said it with so much anger behind it. And he was like, oh, I was like, no, I don't know where your hands have been. That's disgusting. And he was like, okay, well, you know, be safe on your way to work. I will, thanks. And I kept it pushing, right? And I think later that day, like, I saw in his story, like, they made it to the destination. Because I'm not the best at giving directions. I was like, oh, I'm happy that you made it to your destination or something. And I forgot, I think he said something back or whatever. I don't know. I was being very blunt and distant and honestly very rude with him. Fast forward maybe like a month or two later. At this point, I haven't really heard from him. I don't talk to him. Like, that was our last actual interaction. He DMs me on Instagram. He's like, oh, what did you want your Christmas gift to be? Because I want to go ahead and give you one. Actually, you know what? I think it might have been the next Christmas. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I think it was literally the following Christmas. And I just looked at the message. I was like, you're kidding me, right? I was like, are you being serious right now? He was like, yeah, what do you want? I was like, I don't want anything from you, bro. Unless you're gonna take accountability for what you did, don't ever talk to me ever again. And he was like, okay. Okay. Honestly, y'all, when I tell you guys, I was so over him and his antics and the fact that you are a grown man. Y'all, he is older than me, I think probably like by like 2 years. 2 years, 1 year, maybe a year and some change. He was older than me, and I was just like, you cannot even take accountability for your actions. Like, you don't even see anything that you did wrong in this situation. Granted, at the time, I didn't see where I was going wrong, but I see it now, okay? I see it now, and if we ever, I don't have a desire to talk about it now, but if we ever encountered each other and this did come up, I'd be like, yeah, you know, I was doing too much. I need to chill out. But at the end of the day, sir, you literally took advantage of me because you knew I was in a bad place. You knew I was in a bad place. Then you sat there and milked me for the little bit of money that I had while I was a broke college student. Meanwhile, you work at full-time at a warehouse? Where's your money going to? What is wrong with you? Like, y'all, I can go on and on about this situation. I can, but I'm not gonna do that. We gonna wrap it up right here, okay? In conclusion, me and Ben never spoke again. We didn't, and he is one of the few people that I have dealt with in my past that I actually can't stand. It's not a lot of them. that actually pushed me to that point of like, I don't really ever want to speak to you again. But yeah, he pushed me to that point, y'all. He pushed me to that point. I really don't have a desire to talk to him. Like, if I ran into him tomorrow, I would be cordial, but like, we ain't got nothing to talk about, bro, unless you're gonna take accountability for what you did back in the day. Because like I said, I was depressed, I was down bad, and I felt like he lied to me, he used me, and he took advantage of the fact that I was kind of in a vulnerable point in my life, and I really don't like that. Now, do I admit that I was also at fault in this situation? 100%. Like I told you guys in the last video, I am fully aware that I was like self-destructing and making a mess of my own love life. Like, fully aware of that now. Back then, not so much. That was the story of that situation. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Who was more at fault? Was it me because I was just doing the most and I was in a vulnerable place? Or was it him for like kind of taking advantage of the fact that he knew all this about me and he literally was just like milking me for whatever I was willing to give? Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. It was very difficult for me to tell. Like I said, looking back at it, it's a little embarrassing. It's a little embarrassing, y'all. I was out here, I was tripping. I was down bad. Never again. Never again. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media, which is always in the description box down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
I want a chick that grind on a 9 to 5. Oh, she in them college books trying to get a rise. But tonight, I'm just trying to have a good